Hey, everybody. Just coming to you with another weekly thought for this week. I just finished reading a book. Actually, I've read it through it twice. It's called The Gap and the Gain, GAPGAIN, The Gap and the Gain. It's by Dan Sullivan and Bruce Hardy. It's an excellent book. I would recommend it to everybody. This really, other than I would say the Bible, this book probably impacted me more than just about anything I've read. It's a whole way of looking at life, and where we are coming from. Specifically, it is a business book. Um, Dan Sullivan is a very well known entrepreneurial coach. He's been doing it for like 50 years. The top entrepreneurs in the country go to his coaching. It's incredible, just how many people he has coached, and this is one of the core concepts of what he teaches. Um, and in a nutshell, the way that it is many times what'll happen is we talked about goal setting a few weeks ago. We'll have like, we're here and we'll have an ideal of where we think we should be or where we want to be at a certain point. And there's nothing wrong with setting goals, okay? But you set these goals or these high ideals of what you want to happen, in your business, in your family, in your relationships, in your physical health, whatever it is. You set these goals, and then maybe you don't quite reach those goals. Okay. It kind of looks like this. My famous whiteboard here will show you. So here's, you can see this. Here's where you are today, and you set this goal up here. Okay. Trying to get to that point where you want to reach. Okay. So you've set that goal, and maybe you've worked hard, you've done a lot of different things, and you've gotten to maybe right here. This is where you've gotten to, by the point in time that you're looking at this. Okay. So you've made some progress, but you didn't get where you wanted to be. So the problem is that most people, this is where they live, right here. This is the gap. They live right there in that gap. And because they didn't reach that ideal, they didn't get to where they wanted to get, where they thought they should be, whatever the case may be, they're frustrated, they're upset, they're mad at themselves, they're disappointed, all those sorts of things, and they're living in this gap. And what Dan teaches is basically, but look where you started and look where you got to, right? This is the gain. That's the gain. So instead of measuring forward, we do want to set goals. That doesn't, this is not speaking against that. We set goals, but instead of measuring forward, whenever we're measuring our progress, we'll look at where we started. Okay, where did we start, and where have we gotten to? I don't care if you've only done this much. It's still a gain, and it still can be celebrated, and you can still be happy about that. Don't beat yourself up if you haven't gotten to that high ideal that you want to be. It's kind of like if you stand in a field somewhere or looking at the ocean or whatever, and you see the horizon out there, right? Everybody sees the horizon and they think, I'm going to walk to the horizon. Well, everybody knows that's a fruitless endeavor, right? We'll walk and walk and walk. I don't care how far you walk, you will never reach the horizon. But look how far you got in that period that you walk, or we're in a boat sailing towards the horizon or whatever. Look how far you've come from where you started, not where that ideal is, somewhere out there in space. Okay. Um, this is a tremendous skill to learn. We all get into the gap all the time. We get disappointed, we get upset, and where it really shows is with other people in our lives, in our relationships. Let's take for instance with your kids. Okay, your kid brings home the report card, and they didn't get straight A's, but they're a smart kid and they could. They got maybe one or two A's, couple B's, and a C. Okay, that's what they got. instead of looking at what they were able to accomplish and the growth that they were able to make over that last semester, you're still saying to your kid, you can do better. You can do, I know you're smart enough. You could get straight A's. You can do better. Now, there's nothing wrong with encouraging our kids to do more and do better. But when we are holding them to some high ideal and not giving them um, props, for lack of a better word, for where they've come to, where they've grown to, we're operating in the gap with our kids, and it's not healthy. It the kids have a very with social media and all the things that are comparing them to everybody else. Kids today are struggling with a very low self-image and a very low self-esteem, and when we're constantly um, holding them to that high standard. No, again, nothing wrong with setting goals and working towards that. But how about look how far you've come? Look how much better you're doing this. Look, you're keeping your room clean. You're helping your mother with this. You're whatever. Instead of acknowledging the growth that has happened, and then saying, okay, now here's where we are. Where do you think we can get in the next time frame? And let's talk about that, and let's set some more goals. And then again, once the time is up for those goals, we measure the distance we've traveled from today to those goals. Okay. It's very easy to kind of see how we can fall into that trap of living in the gap. We do it with ourselves. We do it with relationships that we have. And it's just not, it doesn't foster healthy relationships, doesn't foster cooperation and working together. Um, you know, I think this is tremendous, and it really can be a life-changing thing. But I just would suggest you get that book. I don't have a hard copy of it, or I'd show you, because I do it on Audible. I bought it, and I've listened to it a couple times since I've had it. It's a great book full of wisdom. You'll really enjoy it. So just wanted to pass that on and share it with you. Hopefully you'll check it out, and we'll talk on the next video. Thanks a lot. Take care.